Coming to another method, another mistake, that is reading very slow. So, when you're solving your reading passage, it's important to read quickly. If you know, as you're aware, that we have 60 minutes and we have to solve 40 questions. And if you take too much time reading the information, then you will not be able to attempt all of the questions. So you have to read very quickly while retaining as much information as you can and analyze what you read while taking the IELTS reading test. You will also need to adapt and improve your reading speed to have the best chance of passing reading test. You can practice the following techniques to speed up your reading. If you feel that you're a slow reader, there are a few ways I'm suggesting that you can try. The first method would be reading every day. If you are a if you are an avid reader, if you read novels every day, then you would notice your speed of reading would definitely be quicker than the other people. And along with speeding up your processing, it will also help you expand your vocabulary. So this is the first thing that you should start with. Second, when you read, make sure you're not reading words individually. Rather, read in chunks. As when we read, our eyes can look at three or four or sometimes five words together in one go. So why read words individually? Read in chunks. This will help you read faster as compared to your usual speed. And one more thing to keep in mind here is while taking practice exams, practice tests, make sure you're timing yourself. Keep a track of your time. Every time you attempt a test, try to move more quickly. Now, another common mistake would be wasting too much time on one question. By that, I mean, let's say I have 40 questions and I have to solve them in 60 minutes. If you do a little bit of math, you would realize you divide 60 minutes by 40 questions. It comes about 1.5 minute per question. That means you cannot spend on an average more than 1 minute 30 seconds on any question. If you get stuck on a single question, you're wasting your precious time. In that case, when you realize that you're having trouble answering a question, in such a case, move to the next one. Do not be stuck there because there might be some other questions which will be easy for you to find. And then you can come back at the difficult or challenging question later. Another mistake would be not transferring your answers till the end. And sometimes first thing is not transferring answers till the end. By that I mean, let's say if we talk about pen and paper based test. In pen and paper based test, you will be given an answer sheet and you will need to transfer your answers into that answer sheet. In reading module, however, there is no extra time given for that. So you are given three reading passages and 40 questions. You have an hour to read the passage, all the three passages, and write your responses. But you must write your answers directly onto the answer sheet rather than on the question paper and waiting till the end. Because you are not going to get any additional 10 minutes time to transfer answers. So it's best that you do it right away simultaneously. And do not wait until the end of the test to transfer your answers. And this is, remember, only for pen and paper based tests. This will not be the case for computer based because in computer based, anything that you type in those boxes, it directly goes to the portal. And at the end of the pen and paper based test, the invigilator will collect your answer sheet at the end of an hour for reading test. So they will, of course, give you a warning that now you have only 10 minutes left, so you have to transfer the answers. But let's say if you miss out on that important part, then again you're going to lose your valuable points. Additionally, one more thing to keep in mind here is that there is no negative marking in IELTS reading module, so you should always write something. Do not leave any answer blank in your answer sheet. It is fine if you have to make an educated guess and write the answer. You're not going to lose any valuable points for that. If the response is incorrect, you're not losing any point. But if the response is correct, you're at least going to get 1 point for that. right? So it is best always to write something. Do not leave any answer blank. And the last tip I have here for today is not preparing, last mistake, I would say, is not preparing each type of question. So, as you know, that we have different types of questions in IELTS reading, and while practicing, you would realize that each of these questions have a different strategy that we'll need to follow. So, before you attempt a comprehensive reading test, practice all of these different question types. Be sure to understand the approach that will help you perform well on the day of the test. When you know what kind of questions you can expect, you will be uh, feeling better. You will feel more confident. You will know that you have prepared all of these question types and you'll know how to solve them. So this will put you ahead of the competition because you won't be reading the material repetitively. In some cases, for example, when we know that, let's say, the answers come in sequence, there are some question types where the answers can be found in sequence. uh, for example, if we talk about all the gap filling questions, so we have sentence summary, table, flowchart, completion question types. Usually the answers come in order for these questions. I would say almost always. In case of true false not given and yes no not given, answers are in sequence. In multiple choice questions, you will find answers are in sequence. For matching sentence endings, the answers are in sequence. For short answers questions, the answers are in sequence. So when you know this information, how does this help you? This way, you are not going to read the same information, same paragraph again and again repeatedly and wasting your time. So remember that these answers can be found in sequence, and this is how you have to approach them. But there are some other question types which will not be found in order. For example, we have matching paragraph information and we have matching headings. Now, these two questions will not be found in order. So there is no point reading the same paragraph again and again and going in order, right? So every question has specific strategy that we'll need to follow. So remember this. Yes. So let's say while transferring answer, there's one question: can we use capital letters? I would say in reading or listening test, in both the test, while transferring your answer, use capital letters. Because there is another mistake that people make. Let's say your answer is a proper noun. My answer is, suppose, name of a particular place. And if I start my answer with a small letter, it's going to be incorrect. I will lose my point because proper nouns always begin with a capital letter. So, to avoid that mistake, what should I do? I should write all the letters in capital. So, all of your answers while transferring it onto the answer sheet, or even when you're typing on the computer, you can type it all in capitals. Besides this, is there any other doubt, any other question? So, these are all the tips that I had for today. Once again, we'll just go over to them. The first step was not managing time effectively. For that, we discussed that we have to divide 10, 15, and 25 minutes, not paying attention to minor details. So remember to read the instructions every time you attempt a question. Make sure the third was not writing correct spelling. So your spelling should be correct. Always refer to the reading passage and then transfer the answer. Fourth was reading the entire passage first. Now, you know that we don't have enough time, so we should not be reading the entire passage first. We should first read the question. Fifth was not picking the right keywords. So, we are supposed to first highlight keywords that can be spotted easily, such as proper nouns, names, facts, figures, numbers. Sixth was reading questions casually. So read everything in detail, especially questions, not the entire passage, just the question, so that you know what you're supposed to do. Next was reading very slow. So to speed up your reading, we have discussed a few methods. I hope you'll be applying them in your life. Uh, Eighth was wasting too much time on one question. So ideally, we are supposed to not give more than 1 minute 30 seconds. So stick to that. Do not give more than 1 minute 30 seconds on any question. And do not, and the last mistake was not transferring your answer till the end and leaving answers blank. So this shouldn't be done, because we always have to transfer the answers simultaneously as you're finding them, and do not leave any box blank in your answer sheet. Now, if you would like to get in touch with a counselor, or you need some kind of expert guidance, if you would like to attend live sessions, if you would also like to, let's say, need help, if you need help with booking your IELTS slot, you can get in touch with our counselor. The toll free number we have here is 1-800-57-2000. I'll repeat, it's 1-800-57-2000. So this is all I had to share for today. I hope you understood the tips. Let us conclude here. Yes, Raghav, we can always make corrections at the end of the test. Or while you find that you've made a mistake in spelling, you can correct it right away. All right, guys. So let us conclude here. I really enjoyed talking to each and every one of you. I hope the points were valuable. Thank you for coming to today's session. Have a good day.